stat sheet?
Sure.
You want one?
All right,
Hey.
we're ready to start with the NIU players portion of our post-game press conference. We have Keyshawn Williams, Trendon Hankerson. We'll take questions for the Husky players at this time.
You talk about any of your final game here with a win?
Yeah, it feels good. Feels great. I just want to thank the guys really for playing as hard as they could and stuff like that. We knew we weren't playing for anything, but still just coming out and competing. That was good. Just thankful for them, thankful for my time here and whatnot. So.
Go ahead.
What's your name one more time?
Keyshawn Williams.
What made you decide to play for the Huskies?
What made me decide to play was Coach Burno. I mean, I went into the portal, and he was one of the first coaches to text me, and he seemed real genuine, and he wanted me to come over here back home and try to change the narrative, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do.
When you say change the narrative, what do you mean?
He just wanted us to come over here and just try to win. Like, we want to be a winning culture. I mean, we already displayed that out there. Like, we had nothing to play for, and we still went out there and grinded.
Sort of going into the second half, you guys had the lead and then lost it in the beginning of the second half. What would you say was key to bringing the focus back together to regain the lead and keep it to the end of the game?
Really just defense. Defense is our staple. So just getting up and down the floor and making sure that we're guarding ball screens, we're rebounding and stuff like that, so that way we can go down and have our best chance to score on offense. But mainly it was just trying to stop their pick and roll the pick and roll offense, and then stopping them from getting downhill.
What was the big difference? You were able to hold down some of their bigger guys from scoring this time. What was the emphasis coming into the game on?
Just scouting. We knew, like, this whole season we had problems with, like, pick and pop five. So we had big scouting this game, and then we just tried to execute it. And I feel like we executed pretty good this game.
And then what does it feel to end the the home season, the home crowd like this with a victory?
It feels good. We struggled at home all season, just winning and stuff like that. Just finishing out games, I should say, because we've been right there. But it feels good just to cap the season off on a high note and to get a home victory for our last win. So that way, hopefully, coming back next year, these guys can pick up off of that.
Go ahead.
Trendon, what would you say is one thing that you did differently from this game versus the game on Tuesday?
I wouldn't say that I did anything differently. I would just say that performance-wise, I was better tonight in terms of offensively on the offensive end. And then I thought defense was a stickler for us. Coming down the stretch, I had to guard the best player and stuff like that. So I thought that helped.
Always guard the best player.
There was obviously a lot more fouls called out on NIU than the other team. Was that sort of frustrating for you or anyone else on the team?
Of course, it's frustrating. I mean, but that's been all year. Calls aren't favored for us really, so we just got to go out there and continue playing, foul call or not. Like, we just know that we got to just keep playing and get through it.
Anything else for the Huskies? All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. I
Thank you.
appreciate you all season long coming and doing this. Careful. You all ready to go fast?
Yeah, I actually went in early, to be honest.
All right, we'll continue now with Coach Rashon Burno joining us. Coach, will you start us off with a statement about tonight's game?
A fitting way to end the season. Super proud of the guys throughout the season, but tonight especially, because when you have nothing to play for, right, it really shows you a lot about the character of these young men. And throughout the day, we talked about playing not for ourselves, but the four seniors who sacrificed a lot to be a part of this program. And when things got tough, don't worry about you. Worry about those four guys who will never wear that uniform again and play in front of their families and friends here. So those guys took heed to that message, and we went out and defended the best we've defended all season against a top 2 team in the league. And I'm super proud of these guys. This year has been a challenge. based on obviously the teams we had to face, the adversity we had to face. But the number one thing what I wanted to do is put a competitive product on the floor night in and night out from a basketball standpoint, but also show growth on and off the court. And I think we've done that. We changed the narrative of the program from a perception standpoint on and off the court, and especially in the classroom. So these guys had a heck of a year. It was, obviously step one in a long journey, but I think these guys put the program in a position to be respected throughout the MAC. Now we got to regroup, learn some things, continue to develop the guys in the program, and we got to go out and do a little bit of recruiting to replenish what we will lose. But I'm super excited about where we are. This is a great victory because now we can use this as momentum going into the off season.
How much will you use this for the guys coming back in the offseason?
A ton. I think stuff like this, it can propel you, but it also can be negative as well. And so we gotta be smart with how we utilize the message of beating Ohio at home. So I'm excited. The guys are excited. We gotta take some time, lick our wounds, figure out what we need to do better. We had some opportunities. These guys are gonna have some regret not going to Cleveland when that tournament starts. But we have a lot to look forward to. And I'm like I said, I'm excited for the guys that's going to return.
Yes, I would like to ask, what do you think is the biggest thing to look forward to for bringing basketball into the team next season and also just the next season in general?
I think it's just the opportunity to grow, right? We've learned a lot. We're going to take a lot of time to watch film, break down where guys need to continue to improve skill development, and then obviously having the foundation set to whereas the new guys understand what it takes to wear that uniform, and how important it is to come in with the right mindset to compete and be a positive influence in the program, also in the community. The one thing that doesn't show up in stat sheets is just the quality of young men that we have in our program. And I think that's something that I can hang my hat on, and I'm really, really proud of. That these guys are all student athletes and about the right things. And so although we're going to lose some, we're going to bring in the same type of quality of kids because winning is not just done on the court. Winning is also done in the classroom, weight room, community. And so we're going to really hone on that and try to get better because we got to get better. This league is one of the best major leagues in the country. And so as you can tell, the other teams got talented players. We got to try to meet that talent and exceed it to be able to get to where we want to go. Yes and no. I'm a competitive person. I think anytime I line up, I expect to go out and have a chance to win a game. But winning is hard, and it's not something that you can take lightly. We were up, 9 with 1:37 at Miami. We're up at home versus Miami. We were up versus Kent State. So there's games that, like, in a minute, a second can cost you, a la UIC at the foul line up 1 with a chance to go up 3. And so winning is hard. And, you know it as a coach, as an assistant, as a player, but to really be in that first chair, you have to manage the game, and you got to make sure guys are in the right space every time because one bad possession, one bad minute can cost you a game.
How do you keep the momentum going for the team when there's so many fouls being called that you probably are like, this should not be called right now?
That's a great question. I think you have to show maturity, right? Because those are things you can't control, right? You got to play through it. And luckily, we've been in a situation where we've been on the receiving end of more fouls calls against us versus for us. And so we've been through adversity. We understand what to do. We can't control that. We just got to go down and execute and play the next play. Yes, sir.
Is there one moment tonight that you would say was probably like the biggest turning point in the win?
I would probably say when they went up 2, we came down and scored right away to tie it. I think Dawishi Hunter's N1 was a huge play. Games before, that 2 can go to 4, that 4 can go to 6, and now you're chasing. And so we answered the bell when we needed to. We got rebounds when we needed to. So and yet again we're playing without our starting point guard, and so this was a really a challenge to keep everybody engaged because outside of Keyshawn, a lot of the times KT is initiating offense and facilitating and getting other guys involved, and so we had to manufacture some points, and these guys stepped up and really executed the game plan. Yes, ma'am.
Speaking of not having Caleb, I mean, like, what were some of the changes that you implemented today because he still wasn't able to?
We did less ball screens. We put Trendon more in horns actions. We use Zion a little bit more. And so we shrunk our playbook and really kept it concise. That didn't require a ton of 1-5 ball screens and putting these guys in situations where they just had to read and react. And so those guys stepped up. Our offense wasn't pretty at all the time, but we got what we wanted for the most part. We wanted to play inside out, and I thought we did a really fairly good job of that.
What emphasis are you going to have now with people coming in with your recruits? What areas are you looking to try to improve?
Well, I think you look at this league, your guard play got to be superior, right? And you got to have a 4 who can shoot it. If you look at Kent State, Ohio, Toledo, all of those guys got inside-out presence, the guys that can play multiple positions, and then they got a dominant guard a la Sears. And so we got to really evaluate how we build this program, build a roster. I think we do have some of that component in already. The guys that we're going to bring in is just going to add more athleticism, length, and skill set. We got some really good shooters that's in this class. We got size. We got athleticism. And when you're trying to get to the top 4 of this league, you need that in abundance, right? The guy, 5 and 30 for this team, those are grown men, right? 5th, 6th-year guys. And so we also got to get experience along with talent. So we got our work cut out, but I like where we're going. Yeah, Amos is an Illinois kid. He's competing for a state title from Whitney Young. X is one of the best players in the state. And we hope to do some more Illinois kids. But yet again, the Illinois thing is a major factor, but it also has to be the right Illinois kid, right? We got to be strategic in who we bring in here because the culture is where I want it to be. We like to have guys who go to class and do what they need to do and then also compete at a high level. So we're going to be strategic in who we bring into the program, but definitely, hopefully, from Illinois.
Looking back over the season, were there any high points that you noticed?
I mean, there were a ton of them. Caleb Thornton coming in, finishing up league play, top 3, top 4 in assists, beating Washington at Washington, winning 4 road games, the most since I don't know when. Maybe Jeremy can answer that. 2017. Beating Kent State. There's been so many highs from a team standpoint, but also seeing these guys grow as young men. My requirements are a lot different than the previous staff. We're all different, right? So I value certain things, and these guys exceeded what I put forth in front of them. Just the mental toughness that these guys showed throughout the course of the season. It is hard coming to play for Northern and being expected to do nothing but lose, right? And so we were picked last in the MAC, and no one cared about us. And so every day I'm getting my guys up to compete, and they know what the narrative that's being said. And so just the mental growth, it was probably one of the most encouraging things that I witnessed within the locker room of these young men. They understand how to go through adversity, face it head on, be a man, and get through. And then more importantly, start over the next day. Right, and so I always say that's what I would hang my hat on the most.
Do you or one of your staff members come to be in Champaign next week?
We'll be there.
Just to have the presence of.
We got to go back to the press conference of mine. We got to protect the state. Keyshawn Williams is a byproduct. You can go away and come home. Keyshawn averaged 2 points a game. Now he's probably 7th or 6th in the MAC in scoring. Unbelievable success. And so we're going to sell him hard to anyone that want to come home, get a great education, and more importantly, play in front of your family and friends. This would be a destination spot for a lot of young men. So that's the goal. So we will be at that tournament in 3s. So.
Any other questions for Coach Burno?
Thank you, guys.